Welcome to the Western Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. My name is Anna and I'll be your facilitator. We have some fantastic schools here with us today, and before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at striveskin.com/WACAC. And now I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter from Oxford Brookes University. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Just bear with me while I share my screen with you. There we go. So hi there. My name is Siobhan Frank. I'm the Global Recruitment Manager here at Oxford Brookes University. And I, like many of my colleagues here today, help students from the US, Canada, and Mexico come to study in the UK. So today I'll talk you through a little bit about the university. So Oxford Brookes University, we're located in Oxford, which is in the United Kingdom. We're about an hour away from London and Heathrow. So over here on our left-hand side, you can see a lovely map of the UK and Ireland, and you can see where we are in proximity to London and Heathrow and Gatwick. Those are probably going to be your two main airports that you would fly into coming over from North America. Now, you might have recognized the name of the city. That's because we do share the city with another very famous university. Here in Oxford, we've got Oxford Brookes University and we have the University of Oxford. What that means is that we have a very high student population here in the city. 1 in every 4 adults here are students. So it is very much a student-friendly city and a student-centric city. Now, Oxford itself is a center for industry and enterprise. There's lots going on in and around the city as well. As well as being in the heart of Motorsport Valley, we've also got things like major publishing houses. We've got biotech in the city. We've got tech. There's lots of creative and design in the city as well. So lots of really interesting kind of work options as well afterwards. Now, as an Oxford Brookes student, you'll get access to the Bodleian Library and the Oxford Union. These are resources at the University of Oxford, but we have a really good relationship between the two universities. So the Bodleian Library is the university's main library system. Very large. It's a legal repository, which means that any book that's printed in the UK, the Bodleian gets a copy. So it's really nice to complement our library services that we've got here on campus as well. Now, the Oxford Union is a debating society, but they host all sorts of really interesting events, including a very famous and well-known speaker series. They've had anyone from Game of Thrones cast, they've had famous musicians, they've had world politicians. So it is a really interesting thing for you to get involved in when you come to study here at Oxford Brookes. Now, Oxford Brookes is about 18,000 students. We're a mid-sized university. We have students from over 140 different countries across the world. Now, life in Oxford, there is certainly something for everyone. In addition to having 5 major museums. So if that's your scene, that's really great. We've got up here on our top left, you can see a picture of our Pitt Rivers Museum. Really interesting if you're interested in anthropology, geography, history, anything like that. We've also got our Ashmolean Museum here on our top right. Now, if museums aren't really your scene, there's lots to do kind of in and around the city as well. We've got great, music venues. We've got lovely restaurants in what's called the Cowley Road. We have beautiful pub rivers along the rivers with beautiful walks there. And we've also got punting. So this is very famous to Oxford and Cambridge, and you'll often see students out on the river. It's a little bit like a gondola, lots of fun in the summer, nice activity to do with your friends. Now, about Oxford Brookes, we've got 4 main faculties. We've got the Business School, Health and Life Sciences, Humanities and Social Sciences, and the Faculty of Technology, Design, and the Environment. Within that, we have a whole bunch of different schools and departments, and within that, a number of different programs as well. So some of the programs that are of interest to US applicants that we've had before. So we've got business and management, psychology, international relations. We have motorsport engineering. So all sorts of really neat and interesting things to get involved in. A lot of our programs are also 3 years in length, but many of our programs do offer an optional 1-year work placement, and that is a paid work placement year. So at the end of your 4-year degree, you'll end up coming out with not only your degree, but also a year's worth of international work experience. Now over here on our right, you can see a lovely picture of our library, which is in the John Henry Brooks building. That's kind of our main central building, student life, student central building here on campus. Now, why Oxford Brookes? It's more than just our rankings. By coming to study at Oxford Brookes, you get to live and study in Oxford, which is a world famous city known for its rich history and education. You'll gain the fundamental skills and global experience to succeed in your chosen career. As I mentioned, you've got the opportunity to participate in potentially paid work placement years, depending on the program that you're interested in studying. Really great if you want to gain some work experience before you hit the job market at the end of your degree. Now, you also get to experience a new country and a new culture, make some international friends, and you'll get the support you need as an international student. So some of the student supports, I won't go into too much detail here, but we've got some really great supports in place to help you succeed as a student here at Brookes. We've got our Academic Development Center to help you achieve your academic goals. We have our inclusive support team, including our disability and dyslexia support services. We've got counseling, multi-phase chaplaincy, our career service, and our mentoring schemes. So both our career services and our mentoring schemes are available both while you're a current student, but also as an alum as well. So it's a really great service there for you to take advantage of. Now, by coming to study here at Oxford Brookes, you'll also get a chance to study one free language module. So all of our undergraduate and postgraduate full-time students can take up to one free language module per year. That does include things like French, Spanish, German, Japanese, Mandarin. Really interesting too, if you're potentially exploring, studying abroad or participating in your work placement kind of elsewhere in the world, kind of gaining those fundamental skills are great. Now, I'll quickly cover this. We are test optional, high school diploma from a 3.0 GPA. Some courses do have subject-specific requirements, which can be met via grade 12 honors level high school courses or APs. Our tuition fees range from about £14,000 to £17,000 per year and £15,000 to £2,000 for a paid work placement year. And we do accept FAFSA, Veterans Loans Benefits, and Sallie Mae loans. So that's about the time. I'll quickly whiz through this, but thank you very much for listening to me today. If you want to find more information, you can visit us at www.brookes.ac.uk or get in touch with me directly at sfrank@brookes.ac.uk. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Bradford.
All right, I think everybody should be able to see this now. So hello, everybody. My name is Jake Reckford. I represent University of Bradford. That's kind of helpful to remember it, Reckford at Bradford. I represent the university for all of North America, helping students with applications and enrollment. I live in Philadelphia. And so I'll be talking a little bit about the city of Bradford, University of Bradford here on this session. And I want to start here with this slide to kind of give you an idea of the student body of Bradford and to kind of talk about how Bradford is really student first. We've recently won awards for the Social Inclusion University of the Year, as well as an award for being #1 in the UK for improving students' life chances. So I mentioned all this just to say that Bradford is a great place because we meet students where they are and we give them all kinds of support and everything they need in order to excel on campus and once they leave into their careers. So this is the case with many of my colleagues here on this call today. A lot of the things I'll be talking about on this page are pretty similar, pretty standard for a lot of UK schools. But just to hit them here, University of Bradford offers 3-year bachelor's degrees and in some programs 4 years combined bachelor's and master's. So for students that know, really what they want to study and don't want to deal with any prerequisite classes or general education classes, we're a great choice for you. To kind of get in and out with all the credentials you need to get running on your career. We accept US financial aid, FAFSAs, we have scholarships available, and one of the great reasons to study in the UK is easy to access other countries and places in the UK and other spots in the EU because everything is so close, it's so small, it's cheap to travel. Single room accommodations in the dorms are standard at University of Bradford. So students would have their own bedroom, but would share a bathroom and a kitchen. And on our campus, we have all the support community and extracurriculars of a US institution, just no American football or Greek life or homecoming or things like that. Bradford's located in the north of England in the heart of the UK, about 20 minutes outside of Leeds and an hour from Manchester. Students would fly into the Leeds Bradford International Airport, and we're about just a 5-minute walk from the train station. University of Bradford is an urban university of about 10,000 students. It's located in the middle of the city of Bradford. The city itself is the 6th largest in the UK, and it is a growing population, especially with the youth population. It's a very diverse area, over 130 languages spoken. There's been a lot of the recent growth in Bradford has come from immigrant communities coming in from all over the world, places in South Asia, Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, which really creates a very multicultural feel for the city. It's known as the curry capital of the UK, which kind of gives you an idea just how deep those roots run. So Bradford is just a great slice of modern UK life. It has all kinds of amenities that you would expect from any kind of city, restaurants, cafes, bars, theaters, museums, music venues. Bradford is UNESCO's first city of film and has a very long history of cinema. We have hosted productions of things like Peaky Blinders, Downton Abbey, and Harry Potter before. The campus itself, located centrally near downtown. 80% of our 10,000 students are undergraduate, about 20% are international, and that small size creates a 16-to-1 student-teacher ratio, which really allows students to get a bespoke experience they might not get at other larger universities in the UK. We have many clubs and activity groups located on campus, centered around academics, hobbies, sports, you name it. You can probably find it at Bradford. As far as programs of studies and faculties, I'll hit some of these really quickly. We're mostly a STEM-focused school, so most of our top-ranked programs are in engineering. We do have a program I'm really excited about, video game design and animation. That's also part of that engineering and informatics faculty. Other things that we're known for are the health studies departments, occupational therapy, physiotherapy are two of the main ones we'd like to talk about. And outside of STEM, we do have a triple accredited business school, which puts us in the top 1% of business schools worldwide. We have the UK's oldest Center for Peace and Conflict Studies, which is great for students who want to study conflict and peace building. I did mention the social inclusion aspect of Bradford, and I guess I don't have too much more time to go into it, but I will say that Bradford really walks the walk when it comes to enacting diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives on campus. We're all about making all the students from the 130 plus countries feel at home and feel like they have the tools to succeed. It's about $21,000 to $29,000 per year for tuition. That's offset by one of the cheapest costs of living in the UK. And we are on Common App and UCAS. Deadlines are January 20th, and you would need one of the SAT, ACT, or 2 AP tests plus personal statement for it to be considered. This is me, once again, Jake Reckford at Bradford. Let's chat anytime. You can click the QR code to get taken to our USA entry requirements. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of East Anglia.
Perfect. Thank you so much. My name is Alana Stewart. I'm the regional manager for the University of East Anglia. I am based stateside with all of you in Michigan, so not too close, but not too far away as the UK is. I've been working with the university for about 5 years now. The University of East Anglia is also known as UEA. We were founded in 1963. We've done a good job at establishing ourselves since then. We rank in the world top 200 and the UK top 25. We are a public campus-based research institution. So the professors that you learn under are doing top research in their field and contributing to those respective fields. We do have a wide variety of subjects that I'll cover in a little bit. And then that amounts to over 240 courses, as well as variations on those courses that you can study at the university. Our campus size is about 17,000 students, of which 11% are international. I do expect that's gone up this year. That was just a little slump due to COVID, but they're representing over 120 countries around the globe. And in the back, you can see there our new science facility that we have on campus. We are located in Norwich, England, which is about an hour and a half northeast of London by train, where that pink glint is. That area of the country is known as East Anglia, so that's where we get our name. It is beautiful countryside, so you're looking at scenes kind of like the one behind me. We are also about 30 to 45 minutes from the coast, so you can explore the beach there, but we're also easily accessible with our own international airport, or you can just come up from London. The city is a bit smaller with a population of about 132,000, but we are a shopping destination, so there is enough for students to do. There's also tons of festivals in the area. We've been named one of the best places to live, also one of the most vegan-friendly cities in the UK. Even if you're not a vegan, I always say that speaks to the eclectic nature of the city, so that there is something for everybody. We are one of the best preserved medieval cities in the UK as well, so you can have that juxtaposition of the old with the new that you can see in some of the photos. We have the castle, 2 cathedrals. There's also 30 medieval churches. So again, a lot for students to do in this quintessentially British city. I think our student ambassador sums it up very well. She is from California herself, but she says the city seems so historic and quaint, yet so warm and alive. In the blur of the first few weeks, I was surprised at just how much there was to do in and around it. And even still, I doubt I could ever get bored of it. It packs a punch for its modest size, and it really is a hidden gem tucked away in the countryside. And so that pretty much encapsulates Norwich for you. Our campus is about 3 miles from the proper city center, so you'll see everything that we have to offer here. It pretty much is similar to a US college campus. We have one of the largest indoor sports parks in Great Britain, a wide variety of accommodation or residence hall options for you with different price points. We have a student union that features 60 or more live music gigs per year. Our library is also open 24/7, and we do have a medical center. We are in 320 acres of green space. We're a former golf course, so students like to take advantage of that area and take walks around the man-made lake. We also have residents that take their dogs for walks around our campus, so it's an awesome place to be. I did mention the new science facility on the first slide. We also have a brand new center for engineering called Productivity East, and so that allows both community engineers as well as our student engineers to cross-collaborate. And then the last thing I'll mention is the facade is behind me, but also in the top left-hand corner of the picture. That is our Sainsbury Center for Visual Arts that has been featured in the Avengers films. So if you've actually seen the Avengers films, then you've seen our campus without even realizing it. In terms of academics, as I mentioned, here are our different programs that we offer, or the overarching degree areas. So we do have a wide variety of options in the UK, with the exception of Scotland. The degrees are 3 years long, so they are going to be shorter for you and more focused. So you do have to know what you want to go into. We do have the options to do year abroad, year in industry, integrated masters as well. So those options will extend your degree, but do have that kind of extra bit built into them. What we're known for at UEA is creative writing and environmental science, but we also do well with chemistry, international development, business, and economics. In terms of the application, we are on UCAS, which is basically the common app for the UK, if you want to think about it like that. Our requirements are 3.3 or higher GPA, 3 AP or IB exams, or an ACT or an SAT. If you do have subject-specific requirements, you will need those replicated in an AP exam with a score of 3 or higher. We also look for demonstrated academic interest within your essay. And then also we do require interviews, auditions, or portfolios for some of our courses, but that's a little bit more limited. Our costs for 2022 start off at about $25,000 US, and they do go up depending on which course you are going to be studying. The cost of living for outside London is at about $12,750 for the 9-month academic year. And that is again given to us by the government, but in Norwich, it's a very affordable place to live. So you can live more affordably than that. But again, that is a governmental estimate that we have for you. The scholarships for 2022 are just coming out at the moment. I do think we still have the automatic scholarship for the first year. We also do have ones you can apply for for a higher amount, and I think that's £6,000 per year. There are also some additional scholarships for music and sport, and you can easily use our scholarship finder. We are also able to accept FAFSA loans if you're eligible for them, and students are able to work 20 hours per week on their student visa and 40 hours anytime they're not in their courses. So if you would like to connect with us, please do utilize our social media channels, search for us and search all of our tags that students have tagged us in. And then also please do reach out to me if you do need anything. That QR code goes to our brochures if you want to check any of them out. And now you're actually going to go north of us. So you're going to head off to Scotland.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from the University of Stirling.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Thanks for giving up a bit of your time to come hang out tonight. So my name's Jason By. I'm the International Regional Manager for the University of Stirling. If you can't tell from this accent, it is all Baltimore. I'm not Scottish. I started in the US, transferred over to the UK, and then stayed for my master's. So I've done things both ways. So if you have any questions about UK versus USA, you've got some great resources here tonight, and happy to be an additional one. So we're going to pop up to Scotland. You've heard a lot about some great UK options, but we're going to go up a little bit further north. So everybody's kind of been talking about Scotland. It was voted one of the most beautiful countries in the world last year by Rough Guides. Is also voted one of the friendliest countries in the world by Rough Guides last year. So it's a friendly and certainly beautiful place for you to get outside, go explore. And the Scottish degree, so it's a 4-year degree structure, something very similar to what you're expecting from a US university. The US system is loosely based on the Scottish, so it means that you can change your mind if you apply to a degree that turns out not to be for you. You can change your mind after your first year. Stirling does offer advanced entry if you happen to have any dual enrollment credits from junior college. Of course, we offer study abroad and flexibility to transfer. So if it's a little bit scary to come to the UK at first and you start out in the US and you realize that the US system is not for you, you can certainly still apply to come to Stirling to transfer your degree. As far as the university itself, we are ranked according to The Guardian. We are in the top 30 in the UK, so certainly an academic reputation that can help support you wherever it is that you might want to end up, be it in the UK, be it back in the US. We have about 14,000 students. Most of that population, you'll be in good company with about just over 10,300 undergrads. With 120 nationalities. So you certainly won't be in a US bubble while you're in Scotland. You'll have a very Scottish and a very international experience. If you've never been to Scotland, we will be working to see what we can do to change that. But you might have heard of Edinburgh, it's the capital of Scotland, or Glasgow, which is the largest city in Scotland. Stirling is nestled right in between both. And if you've not been to Stirling, about a half hour on the train. If you've not been to Stirling, plenty of scenes of Outlander were shot on campus, particularly the scene with Brianna when she goes to visit the university to see the student protest, students were protesting for Scottish independence, which is a very relevant topic still. So about 30 minutes on the train, you can be in Glasgow or Edinburgh, but what sets Stirling apart is that we're known as the gateway to the Highlands. So on one half of the city, you've got the foothills of the Scottish Highlands. On the other half of the city, you've got the Scottish Lowlands, separated by a river. So it's a very picturesque, very quaint place for you to plant your feet, get your studying done, and then you can go off to venture into larger parts of the country like London, or pop over to Glasgow or Edinburgh. So the campus looks very much like a US style campus. We are a new university as far as the UK is concerned. So 1967 is when we were founded. So all students have the option to live on campus. So you don't have a very far walk, but there is a footbridge leading you from the student dorms over into campus. It's a beautiful walk across the loch that is in the center of campus. We have a golf course, national sport. Of course, you've got to have it. So it's a very self-contained campus with student buses into the city center that run every 15 minutes. So if you need to pop into city center to go check out the castle or have a nice coffee or go grab a bite to eat with some friends, you can certainly get into city center within 10 minutes from being on campus. We have a little bit of everything that you might need. There's a doctor on campus. We have our own movie theater with obviously discount prices for you as students. And we are the Sports University of the Year within the UK. So our sports facilities are really top notch. So if we have any student athletes, we can certainly accommodate a competitive and non-competitive level of play for you with our facilities. We offer a little bit of everything. We don't have medicine, we don't have engineering, but you full range of offerings from arts and humanities down to Stirling Management School, natural sciences, health sciences, and sports, especially sports management. So it's a very sports oriented program. Happy to chat with you more about that. As far as the undergraduate application process, we are on the Common App. Please do not use both UCAS and the Common App to apply to Stirling. Please choose one or the other. And I think I forgot to mention, there is a QR code at the bottom of every single slide. So if you hear something you like, take a little shot of the QR code and then we can be in touch. Entry requirements, we are test optional. So we'll be looking at it for at least a 3.0 GPA from US students. If you are submitting tests, we only ask for one of the following: either a 26 on the ACT, a 1200 on the SAT, or 2 AP tests with at least a 3. We'll be looking at your transcript pretty closely, an academic reference, and a personal statement. We do have some scholarships. So we have a £2,000 tuition fee discount for undergraduate students. So it helps with the costs a little bit. We also have various sports scholarships for any kind of student athletes. And then we are registered with FAFSA and we will accept any private loans. As far as tuition fees cost, we are sitting at just over 21 or just under 22,000 US dollars tuition for the year. And of course, those scholarships help a little bit. And then the cost of living, Scotland is a very cheap place to live, so you don't have to worry about spending too much money. The range at the bottom is very much up to you, how much you spend. Right, so I will leave it at that. And then if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. Next, you'll be hearing from University College Dublin.
Thanks, Anna. Appreciate it. All right. Céad Míle Fáilte, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here this evening to hear from some amazing international institutions. My name is Chelsea Weaver and I am the North American Western Regional Representative for University College Dublin, or UCD for short. I'm currently based in San Diego. And yeah, we're in Ireland, so we're just moving slightly away from the UK for this presentation. Before I talk specifically about UCD, I'd like to start with a few highlights of Dublin and Ireland. So first of all, Ireland is known as a very welcoming, safe, friendly, and beautiful country. Most of the cliches about Ireland that you may have heard are true. Lonely Planet voted Ireland the world's friendliest country, and according to the Global Peace Index, Ireland is the 8th safest country in the world. Dublin ranks as one of the top 10 best student cities in the world by QS, and personally, I think this is because Dublin is a very vibrant city. Almost half of the population is under the age of 34. So it's truly a great city for college students. There's something going on pretty much anywhere you could possibly go. It's also a really accessible city in many ways. It's known to be a very welcoming place, as I mentioned. There's no visa requirement as a full-time student from the US, so none of the stressful immigration paperwork ahead of time. It's an English-speaking country. It's easy to travel around the country and very well connected to mainland Europe. Dublin is also a very modern capital city, and we are home to over 1,200 multinational companies like Google, Airbnb, TikTok, LinkedIn, and it's a really, really great headquarters for internships and work experience after graduation. All right, UCD is ranked within the top 1% of universities worldwide. We currently have about 19,000 undergraduate students on campus, and nearly 30% of our student body is international. So we are known as Ireland's global university for many reasons, but that being one of the main ones. We were also recently ranked highly as a sustainable campus. Just to give you an idea of what it feels like to be on campus and what it looks like, we are a suburban campus. We're only about 3 miles south of the Dublin city centre. It's about 350 acres, so it kind of has a pretty similar feel as your average state school in the US. If you complete your degree in Ireland, this is something to really keep in the back of your mind. You can actually avail of a stay-back visa where you can stay in Ireland to seek employment and gain work experience for 1 year after graduation, which can definitely help you stand out when searching for jobs, you know, having that international work experience on your resume. A little bit about our accommodations. So we have about 4,000 students living on campus. It's really, really vibrant and active res life. Many different activities and to kind of get you to get to know other students from around the world living on campus. We do seek to guarantee housing for incoming undergraduate international students. So as long as you apply for housing by the deadline, you'll definitely have a room on campus. And similar to the other institutions that I'm presenting with tonight, all students do have a private bedroom, so you will not have to share a dorm room, and it is apartment style, so you will just share those common living spaces. As I mentioned, our campus is very similar to a traditional US college campus, particularly a state school. And you know, all of the amenities that you're used to seeing, UCD has them. So swimming pool, sauna, gym, climbing wall, and various student and academic support services that you would hope to find as well. We have over 130 societies and sports clubs. Pretty much anything you could possibly want to find on campus, and some new sports, some sports that you probably have never heard of. See some unique Irish sports, but there are also some classic American sports on campus as well. And then for your convenience, as other presenters tonight have mentioned, we've got a grocery store, laundry facilities, pharmacy, and health center on campus as well. So just like the other presenters and the other institutions represented tonight, it is really common in Ireland to apply directly to the course of your chosen subject, which is known as direct entry. So if you know what you'd like to study, this is fantastic, but if you don't, we do have a great option for you. Regardless of how you enter the university, we do not have general education requirements, so you can completely focus on your major at UCD from day one. We have over 70 undergraduate degree courses. They're 3 or 4 years in length. It depends on what you choose. And we do also have a liberal arts and sciences program, which is kind of like a semi-undecided program. It's most similar to an undecided major in the US. It's going to allow you at least 1 year, possibly 2, to explore various subjects before you actually choose your major, and it is a test flexible program as well. So essentially, it's just an alternative way into the university and still no general education requirements. For admissions, we are on the Common App. Of course, you can apply directly as well. We're only reviewing your academics, so we're not going to look at extracurriculars or personal statement. And we have a priority deadline of December 1st. Like the other institutions, you know, we're quite affordable, especially if you're already looking at going out of state. Our tuition starts at $23,000 a year. We are in the FAFSA and accept loans. And I know my time is up now, so I just wanted to share my email address there. I really appreciate you listening in tonight and hope to connect with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Lastly, you'll be hearing from Macquarie University, Sydney.
All right, like you last, hopefully you guys can see that. My name is Leanne Allen and I represent Macquarie University, which is in Sydney, Australia. So going from the UK and Ireland over mainland US and down the Pacific Ocean to Sydney. I promise it's not that far away. It's about 12 hours from Los Angeles or San Francisco direct down to Sydney. And I'm sure you've binged TV shows that long before, so you'll be fine on the flight. And once you arrive in Sydney, we will pick you up and you arrive in this magnificent city of Sydney, home to around 8 million people and has been ranked the top 3 most livable cities in the world. As a Macquarie student, you have the best of both worlds, that big cosmopolitan city experience with the awesome beaches. This is Bondi Beach, one of the most famous beaches in Australia. And then you can retreat back to campus, which is a stunning parkland university. We're home to 40,000 students, and of that, there are 12,000 international students, so an incredibly diverse student population. The student experience is somewhat similar to what you would expect to find at a US college. We have over 130 clubs and associations that you can certainly join, and I recommend joining as many as possible until you find your people and your community and get settled in. They can be sports-based or religious or political, everything you can kind of think of. One of the biggest differences is the NCAA doesn't exist outside of the US, and neither does Greek life. It's just Greek students having fun on campus. We have a big sports and aquatic centre on campus, and I do like to point out that Sydney weather does allow an outdoor swimming pool. If it's below 60 degrees in winter, we'll complain it's too cold. If it's above 90 degrees in summer, we'll complain it's too hot. So we like a very temperate Mediterranean climate in Sydney. If you think you would like to see snow, you could certainly do that, about a 2.5-hour drive out of Sydney to the ski mountains. We have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support services available for students. So if you're feeling a bit homesick, or if you've been out and lost your wallet and you need to borrow some emergency money, the university staff are there for you all the time. We also have a strong, innovative and entrepreneurial spirit at the university. So that bottom middle photo there is our incubator hub. So if you have an entrepreneurial idea that you think you could bring to life, the folks at the Innovation Hub will help you get there. When you first arrive on campus, we have a full orientation as well. So you really get to know the campus and you explore the city. Very similar to the UK system, our degrees are also 3 years in duration, so we don't have the general education requirements you'll find in the States. So you do need to know what you want to study at time of application, and then you can do that. There is a bit more flexibility in the Australian system, so if you decide you're going to accounting, decide you hate that, you can move into something else. Or if you're not entirely sure what you want to do, you can do a double degree program, so a Bachelor of Business and a Bachelor of Arts, for example, which is 4 years in duration. Some of our most popular courses are International Business, Business Administration. We're really strong in media and communications, as well as criminology and cybersecurity. We specialize in software and telecommunications engineering, and fun fact for you, we actually invented Wi-Fi, so you're welcome. We also have really strong climate science and sustainability, so if you're thinking about going down that area, Sydney is a wonderful place to study that. And our flagship program is our Bachelor of Clinical Science and Doctor of Medicine degree, which is a 6-year program out of high school, and you are able to become a doctor at the end of that program. You can certainly live on campus when you study with us. You will generally have your own bedroom. Australians find it funny that Americans do share bedrooms in college, so that is very rare on campus. You may have your own bathroom as well. It depends which option you do choose. We do have meal plans, but they are associated with the accommodation provider. It's not like the US system where it's central to the university. So if the thought of cooking 3 meals a day sounds miserable, you can just stay in accommodation that has a meal plan associated with it. Tuition is relatively affordable compared to a lot of schools in the States. Our average tuition is about $24,000 per year. Living cost is around $15,000, and our cost of attendance thereabouts is $40,000. When you take into consideration it's a 3-year degree, you're saving a year of study and a year of paying tuition, it's pretty attractive. You're also able to work while studying in Australia, and minimum wage is about $20 an hour, which is pretty attractive. You can also use US financial aid when you study with us, and we do have scholarships available to students. You can stay and work in Australia for 2 years after graduation, and our starting salary is about $50,000 per year. It is free to apply to the university, and we offer rolling admissions. So at any time you want to submit in your senior year, you're very welcome to. We are currently test optional, so you just need to apply with your transcripts. We do not require essays or recommendation letters. So once you submit that application, which takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete, you'll receive hopefully an offer from us within about a week or two of submitting that application. From there, you can apply for scholarships and financial aid, accept the place in the program, pay your deposit, purchase overseas health care insurance, and come to Australia. And don't worry, I will help you throughout that entire process. I am also based in the US, and here to make that process as streamlined and transparent as possible for you. Finally, being based in the Southern Hemisphere, our dates are a little bit different. So we commence in February and July of each year. So if you start in July, which is when a majority of US students do, you just have a delayed summer vacation. So December, January, February, you're on summer vacation being in the Southern Hemisphere. We also have lots of internships and study abroad opportunities too. The university has a philosophy of graduating global citizens. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, please reach out. I am more than happy to answer any questions and welcome you to Sydney.
Thank you. So now we have a little bit of extra time to do some Q&A. So I'd just like to invite all of the reps to come back on and do a round of Q&A. And I'll just ask you all to share your responses in the same order you presented in, and share what advice you would give someone going through the college search process.
Yeah, I think probably the most obvious one for me is most of us have encouraged you to reach out to us if you've got any questions. Absolutely, in your college search, if you've got questions about coming to the UK, about coming to Sydney, about going to Ireland or Scotland, it's really we're here to help. We've got positions at the university to help students like yourselves. So if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to us.
So advice I would give to somebody making a college decision is to think about yourself in 5 years or 10 years, and think about the kind of experiences you want to have had and the kind of people you want to consider friends and mentors and colleagues, and start with the goal that you have in mind and then work your way back and start thinking about what colleges and areas can help set you up to be in the place you want to be.
My advice is to not be scared to look where your friends are not looking. So that oftentimes can be a sticker where people don't necessarily want to be the only one to go somewhere. I went domestically, but I was the only one to go to my university from my class, and it worked out just fine. I always tell people you will find your people at the university as long as you choose a university where you will be happy and it is the proper fit for you.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't know, a lot of universities have some big ticket, high selling point items like a gym or high rankings. What I would recommend is to look at the international partnerships, regardless of what university that you're choosing, because you want options to be able to go abroad. This is the best time of your life to go abroad. Typically you're not tied down by many things. This is the perfect chance to go as far away as possible, even if it's not for a full degree. So you can certainly look at our universities for a full degree option, but if that's not a possibility, make sure that you're also bringing up the conversation of what international study options that you do have if you decide on something else.
This is all amazing advice. I'd like to just give a practical tip for the college application process, and that is to use a professional email address when applying to college, and also preferably to not use an email address that is linked to your current high school, because you're going to lose that email address once you're not a student there anymore.
I would say that the 3 or 4 years of your degree is going to go so quickly. So don't be scared about going overseas, because you'll be amazed at how quickly that time goes and all the benefits you will get from it. So definitely make the most of that, because you'll never have the opportunity again in your life.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for sharing, and thank you everyone for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other sessions recordings at strivescan.com/WACAC. So thanks again, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening. Bye.